begging for the life of your unborn son, crushed by your own car, shot to death by your own father. These are not the plot lines of a tragic movie. They're the horrifying realities of how some famous people met their end.
2 Echo X-ray, you're still too low level for flight following at this time.
Terrain. Pull up.
Their stories go beyond shocking. They haunt us, leaving behind unanswered questions and a chilling reminder of life's fragility.
Believe me, if I started murdering people, there'd be none of you left.
Brace yourself as we uncover the worst ways famous people have died. Part 1.
The Sharon Tate murder with 5 dead bodies was one of the most horrific things I've ever seen in the whole time I was a policeman. And nothing compares to it, to that murder scene.
Evening. August 8th, 1969. Sharon Tate, 26 years old and 8.5 months pregnant, hosted an intimate gathering at her rented Beverly Hills home. After dining at El Coyote Cafe, Tate and her friends, celebrity hairstylist Jay Sebring, screenwriter Wojtek Frykowski, and coffee heiress Abigail Folger, returned to the house. Midnight to early morning, August 9th, 1969. Unbeknownst to the group, Charles Manson had dispatched members of his cult-like family to the house. Tex Watson, Susan Atkins, Patricia Krenwinkel, and Linda Kasabian arrived in the early hours with orders to kill everyone inside. Their target, the house, had been previously rented by music producer Terry Melcher, who had rejected Manson's music career aspirations.
I could talk to you except through music.
The break-in. The killers scaled a fence and approached the property. Stephen Parent, an 18-year-old visiting the caretaker in the guest house, became their first victim, shot as he attempted to leave in his car. The home invasions and murders. The intruders broke into the house and chaos erupted. Wojtek Frykowski was beaten, stabbed, and shot. Abigail Folger briefly escaped, but was chased down and stabbed to death on the lawn. Jay Sebring was killed while trying to shield Sharon Tate from the attackers. Dr. Thomas Noguchi, the coroner, later testified that Sharon Tate was still alive when she and Sebring were hung over a ceiling beam by a rope, which caused visible rope burns on her neck and face. Despite her desperate pleas to spare her unborn child, Tate was stabbed 16 times. The killers then used her blood to write the word "pig" on the front door. The ideology behind the crimes. Manson's actions were driven by his helter-skelter ideology, a delusional theory based on his interpretation of Beatles songs and the Book of Revelation. He believed the murders would ignite an apocalyptic race war. Aftermath. 6 lives were lost that night, including Tate's unborn child, Paul Richard Polanski, leaving the scene drenched in unimaginable horror. The following night, Manson's followers struck again in the La Bianca murders, further solidifying their reign of terror. Charles Manson and his followers Tex Watson, Susan Atkins, and Patricia Krenwinkel were initially sentenced to death for their roles in the murders. However, when California temporarily abolished the death penalty in 1972, their sentences were commuted to life imprisonment. Linda Kasabian, who was present but did not participate in the killings, received immunity in exchange for her testimony against the others.
There's no way that I can thank you enough for that. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Mamba out.
As dawn broke over Southern California, few could have imagined the devastating events about to unfold. Kobe Bryant, his 13-year-old daughter Gianna, and 7 others boarded a Sikorsky S-76B helicopter, excited to attend Gianna's youth basketball tournament at the Mamba Sports Academy. 9:06 a.m. A foggy departure. The helicopter lifted off from John Wayne Airport in Orange County. The morning was shrouded in heavy fog, reducing visibility. Ara Zobayan, an experienced pilot known for his skill and professionalism, was at the controls. 9:20 a.m. Navigating uncertainty. Approaching Burbank, Zobayan requested special visual flight rules, SVFR clearance to continue flying in the deteriorating weather. With limited visibility, the helicopter maneuvered through the thickening fog, a decision fraught with growing risk. 9:45 a.m. The final ascent. By 9:45 a.m., the helicopter was climbing through a cloud layer near Calabasas, reaching an altitude of approximately 2,300 feet. Zobayan reported to air traffic control that he was attempting to rise above the fog.
Hold outside Burbank Class Charlie airspace. I have an aircraft going around.
However, disoriented in the dense cloud cover, he unknowingly initiated a rapid descent.
2 Echo X-ray, you're still too low level for flight following at this time.
9:47 a.m. Tragedy strikes. The helicopter plunged at a descent rate of over 4,000 feet per minute, traveling at approximately 160 knots, 184 miles per hour. It crashed into a hillside at an elevation of 1,085 feet, just 20 to 30 feet below clearing the hill. The impact was catastrophic, scattering debris over a quarter acre and instantly claiming all 9 lives.
That retired Los Angeles Lakers basketball star Kobe Bryant has been killed in a helicopter crash.
In memory of those lost among the victims were Kobe and Gianna Bryant, alongside friends and teammates Alyssa Altobelli, Carrie Altobelli, John Altobelli, Peyton Chester, Sarah Chester, Christina Mauser, and pilot Ara Zobayan. The world mourned the loss of a basketball icon, young athletes, devoted parents, and a pilot dedicated to his craft. Rest in peace.
Ich bin kein Snick, Snack, Snick, Snack, Snuckelchen vom P.
June 28, 1967. The journey begins. Hollywood star Jane Mansfield, her lawyer and companion Sam Brody, driver Ronnie Harrison, and Mansfield's beloved Chihuahua departed Biloxi, Mississippi after a nightclub appearance. They were headed to New Orleans for a television appearance, traveling in a 1966 Buick Electra 225. Accompanying them in the back seat were Mansfield's 3 children, Mariska, Zoltan, and Miklos Jr. June 29, 1967, early morning hours. At approximately 2 a.m., while driving on Highway 90 near Slidell, Louisiana, the vehicle encountered a mosquito fogger truck, which had created a dense cloud of mist over the road. With visibility severely reduced, Harrison failed to notice that a semi-truck ahead had slowed down.
Hollywood star, the buxom and beautiful Jane Mansfield, is dead.
The collision. The car slammed into the rear of the semi-truck at high speed. The impact was catastrophic, with the car sliding underneath the trailer and its top sheared off as if opened with a can opener. Jane Mansfield, Sam Brody, Ronnie Harrison, and the Chihuahua were killed instantly. Despite rumors, Mansfield was not decapitated, though she suffered severe head trauma. Her blonde wig, found on the road, contributed to the misconception. Tragically, portions of her skull and brain matter were found at the scene, further fueling the rumors. Remarkably, Mansfield's 3 children survived the crash. Miklos Jr. sustained a broken arm and leg, while Zoltan and Mariska escaped with minor bruises and lacerations. The Mansfield Bar. This tragic accident had a lasting impact on road safety. The Mansfield Bar, a steel underride guard installed on semi-trucks to prevent vehicles from sliding underneath, was later mandated on all trailers. While not foolproof, these bars have since saved countless lives and serve as a legacy of a devastating loss.
I wanted to say goodbye to Daddy.
He'll be by soon, sweetheart.
June 6, 1978. A Star is Born. Judith Barsi was born in Los Angeles to Hungarian immigrants Josef and Maria Barsi. Small for her age due to her petite stature, standing just 3 feet 8 inches tall at age 10, Judith received growth hormone injections to aid her development. Despite her size, Judith's talent was immense, and she began acting at the age of 5, quickly becoming a rising star. A flourishing career. By the time of her death, Judith had appeared in over 70 commercials and earned approximately $100,000 annually. Her success allowed her family to purchase a 4-bedroom home in West Hills, Los Angeles. Judith became beloved for her roles in The Land Before Time and All Dogs Go to Heaven, leaving an indelible mark on audiences.
Then, goodbye, Charlie. I love you.
A life overshadowed by fear. Behind the scenes, Judith's home life was deeply troubled. Her father, Yosef, was an alcoholic with a violent temper, subjecting the family to emotional and physical abuse. The stress took a visible toll on Judith, who plucked out her eyelashes and her cat's whiskers. Despite Child Protective Services, CPS, being alerted multiple times, no intervention occurred. Maria's reluctance to press charges and the lack of evidence for physical abuse left the family trapped in terror. Despite renting an apartment in Panorama City to escape, Maria hesitated to leave Yosef permanently. Judith confided in friends, saying, "I'm afraid to go home. My daddy is miserable. My daddy is drunk every day and I know he wants to kill my mother." July 25th, 1988. The tragic end. The morning began like any other, with Judith riding her bike and preparing for an audition with Hanna-Barbera. But that day, Yosef's threats became reality. As Judith slept, he entered her room and shot her. He then killed Maria, doused their bodies in gasoline, and set the house on fire before retreating to the garage to take his own life. In the wake of the tragedy, Judith's toys that survived the fire were donated to Goodwill, a poignant gesture that reflected her youthful spirit. In June 2004, Judith Barsi's fan club, led by Nancy Kelly, a former tutor to Barsi on a movie set, initiated a fund to provide headstones for the graves of Judith and her mother, Maria. The headstone for Judith reads, "In memory of the lovely Judith Eva Barsi, our concrete angel,"
Yep, yep, yep.
a reference to her catchphrase as Ducky from The Land Before Time, and a nod to her tragic story. Rest in peace, Maria and Judith. Your story will never be forgotten. The tragic ends of these famous lives remind us just how fragile and unpredictable life can be. From heartbreaking accidents to unimaginable violence, their stories leave us with a sense of loss and a haunting reflection on fame's darker side. Which of these shocking stories stayed with you the most? Let us know in the comments below. If you want more chilling tales, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss part 2. Until next time, take care of yourselves.